It's always interesting when Game Freak is allowed to develop games other than Pokemon. There's the cult classic Drill Dozer, the unique rhythm platformer Harmonite, and the bonkers Tembo the Badass Elephant. Each one takes a ridiculous idea and just goes all out with it, usually to very fun results. And their latest game, Pocket Card Jockey, is no exception. Who else would think to combine horse racing with Solitaire? Pocket Card Jockey casts you as a new jockey with big ambition, but no talent. He or she is also a little dumb, only being good at Solitaire, and not even the full version, but a simplified variant. Yet after an accident, your character is given the opportunity to become a better jockey by an angel. This starts you down the path to become a true champion and finally achieve your dreams. The story is completely silly, and it knows that, having a good time with the dialogue and various characters you meet along the way. But it actually treats horse racing quite seriously, offering up definitions when real-world horse terminology is used. There's a definite feeling of respect here despite the simple presentation. But here's the strange thing. The way Pocket Card Jockey combines horse racing and Solitaire totally works. The basic concept is that Solitaire is used to both improve your horse's mood while simultaneously earning as much energy as possible. Once the final turn is reached, that energy is used for a final burst of speed in an attempt to win the race. However, rather than the usual Solitaire that most people are familiar with, this is a simplified version where the displayed cards must be cleared completely. The cards can be matched in any order as long as it's the next in line, so it's possible to start with 4, then choose 3, then another 4, and finally 5, continuing on in this manner until no other options are available. Once that happens, the deck appears, allowing you to continue your game until the deck is emptied or your cards are cleared. If you clear the cards, your horse receives special bonuses to its mood, any remaining cards in the deck are added to its energy, and it doesn't lose any stamina that could be used in the home stretch of the race. However, if you fail, the uncleared cards negatively affect your horse and put it in a bad mood. If you perform consistently poorly or have an especially bad hand, then your horse could turn into a runaway and burn up a ton of its stamina in the next section of the race. The home stretch is the only time you directly control your horse as you navigate around the opposition and choose the best time to give your horse a boost, if it even needs one. However, there are other strategies at play before this point. At the start of the race, you're given an opportunity to earn an energy boost based on which cards you pick. It's a quick game of Solitaire though, as you're only given about 15 seconds or less to choose an energy boosting card. Energy is also used to guide your horse between games of Solitaire. Using the stylus, you can create a path that it will attempt to follow. I say attempt because other horses can knock it from its trajectory and end up in a completely different position. The aim of this section, though, is to place your horse in its maximum comfort zone. It's different depending on what kind of horse you have, but basically it's the place where your steed earns the most energy. However, it also offers up the most challenging Solitaire layouts. It's a high-risk, high-reward maneuver since the Solitaire is timed as well, and there's often less time on the more advanced courses. You may also want to aim for special cards on the course that will grant more experience, skill points, or a one-time boost. While it may seem that there's a lot to keep track of, Pocket Card Jockey keeps things manageable and fun. There are times when Solitaire is Solitaire though, and you just can't get that one card you need. And there are others when you feel that you're doing fantastic, but your horse just isn't good enough to win the race. That can be frustrating, but it never punishes you for a loss, and there's always another chance to try again later on. But these issues also push other aspects of the game. There's a shop where items can be bought to make Solitaire easier in various ways, or increase your horse's stamina. It also has a special vending machine where puzzle pieces can be obtained. Complete one and your horse will receive a boost. The main aspect of the game though is growth and mature mode. In growth mode, your horse can earn experience to increase their speed and stamina as well as learn up to 2 skills. The better they do, the better their stats, but they're rarely good enough, at least early on, to win every race they enter. That's where mature mode comes in. In mature mode, the horse no longer earns experience and items can't be used on it any longer. However, they can keep entering races in order to complete your trophy collection. Or, if you have multiple mature horses, they can be bred together for a potentially better horse. The more successful the parents are, the better the foal will be. It's in this way that there's really no ending to Pocket Card Jockey. You'll meet new characters in the form of friends and sponsors along the way, but it's up to the player to decide how far they want to take their journey. but this leads me to my main issue with the game. After a while, it all feels the same. You gradually get better, of course, but the races themselves don't change at all outside of either being longer than normal or having a higher caliber of competition than normal. Pocket Card Jockey is at its best when played in short bursts. The presentation is pretty simple, yet still appealing. The characters may look basic, but the dialogue is fun throughout and everything is easy to navigate. There really aren't any issues to be had. And the music is very good, actually pumping you up for the various races or becoming muted as you do poorly. But the music often shocked me with the styles at play. One track feels like it could have been ripped right out of Xenoblade Chronicles X. It caught me off guard, yet is still really good. Pocket Card Jockey surprised me completely. When I hear Solitaire, I think of the most basic gaming possible, but it does more than that, getting you invested in the races and trying to do better for your horse. It can be quite addictive, though there's little else to it. The other aspects of the game definitely help flesh it out, but the basic gameplay is never changed enough to keep my attention for long stretches of time. I like Pocket Card Jockey, but it's at its best when played for shorter sessions. Definitely check it out, especially if you're looking for a time killer to play on the side. It's perfect for that. Thanks for watching, and of course stay tuned to Game Explained for more on Pocket Card Jockey and other things gaming.